Hello, I'm back, caffeinated. The puppies are good. They took a little bit of a snack break, so they're happy. You may hear some like jingle jangle. Miss Biscuit, our itsy bitsy one, has joined me in the studio today to wish you all an early Merry Christmas because of her new collar. So in case you hear any jingle bells, it's her to hearken some tippy taps of her little feet. But she really wanted to come into the office. I think it was because I put her treats next to her food bowl that is in here. So she's hoping maybe if she's on standby, she'll get more treats. Um, yeah, so we're back. So we did react just a bit ago to never taking advice from women, and so now today we're going to possibly prove that theory right when it comes to Rachel and Dave Hollis, who are our second repeated offenders when it comes to at least this new segment of me reacting to bad advice. To basically reacting to things that are uploaded on YouTube that I find funny that you guys send me. Um, yeah, so this is our second one. I will tell you, I did kind of give you guys a little bit of a bait that my husband reacted to. I want to say I'm proud of him. He lasted a whole 5 to 7 seconds of it, and he heard the first advice. And so I'll tell you once he says it, like once they say it, that's as far as I saw of the video. It's a short one today. It's like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll probably also react to another video you guys send me, which was their work advice together to see like what I thought because on the last stream I talked about how it's near impossible to like basically find love and like work healthily together. So apparently they have like a whole video, a how-to manual. So if we have a little bit of time for that, if like hopefully I don't like over talk. I mean, it's only 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so I mean, how much do I really have to say? But I guess we'll find out. I've only seen the first tip, so yeah, that's like the only thing as far as I've seen of the video. I have no idea what they're going to give. But if it's anything like last time, I'm gonna have a lot to say, so I'll warn you on that. I'm just gonna take a little sip of my caffeine, make sure everybody who wants to be here is here. Um, mm. And also, funny enough, during the little break and stuff, the person who sent me the video for the never take advice send me a little 100 mark. So you know, like the little sticker, or the little emoji that's like 100. I don't know if that's good or bad. I think it's good. So, um, I think I did my job. I'm glad I made somebody out there happy. So, um, yeah, like at least that is good. Alrighty. So without further ado, let's see what Dave and Rachel have to tell us today. Oh, and let me
All
know if
right,
the audio
five
is working on
tips
this one.
to do immediately following this video. My first tip would be do your Enneagram.
Yeah, I'm a
Oh, sorry. Like they. Okay, so oh, actually my husband lasted 12 seconds because I remember we paused at this exact moment. His reaction was, "What the hell is that? And do I have to do it?" No, the reasoning behind that was was because I went to therapy, I want to say. Well, I've gone to therapy ever since I was probably close to 19 years old. Just for like it was always like my choice to go, and especially with all the moving and stuff, basically everywhere that we've moved, I've found some sort of, counseling and, like family counseling and stuff like that, just to like make sure I'm cemented in consistency in one way or another. And one of the counselors asked if we would take like a love language test, I guess you could say. And when I say that this thing was 90 questions long, And we did. We actually did it together, and it was mostly me reading out the questions and then him picking them and stuff like that. And it was actually pretty fun exercise. But as soon as he saw this, he was like, "For the love of God, do I have to answer 90 questions again?" And I, honest to God, I was like looking at this. I'm like, "What is an enneagram? What is that?" Like, because I'm into kind of astrology. I read tarot cards. You know, I've told you guys I'm a hippy dippy. This is what I do. I'm into crystals and all that stuff. It just makes me feel good. I know there's no science behind it, but like it's for me the sentimentality of all that. I like it. So when I read that, I was like, is this like a part of like astrology or something I just was not familiar with? But no, it's a personality test basically. So the tip that they give you to take a personality test and see kind of like how you guys mesh with that. And all I have to say really is like because I had to answer my husband. I was not sure what it was. So I literally we were in the car right before we were going to I just wanted to like basically ask him this before I reacted because I knew this was going to come up at some point. So I did. I was kind of like, "Hey babe, like what do you think of this sort of thing?" Because, you know, he's my other half. I like to hear what he has to say. And literally like he looked at it and he was like, "No. Like this is dumb." He was like that literally has nothing to do with anything. Like, you know, it's like surveys that you fill out like in a like job, like, you know, like I remember even there were certain jobs that like kind of had these like exit packages like to tell you like how, you know, good the management was, and you would scale it from like a grade of 1 to 5. And all I can say is like if you have to take a paper test of like I'm an introspective person, so I do like to like I do it for like kicks and giggles and being like, "Oh, hey, I never saw myself in that light," and "Oh, maybe this is why I like feel certain ways." But I feel this is terrible advice to like be like, hey, if it's like a fun thing that, but if you're like telling your partner to take like a personality test, like it's like the same with those, like, you know, like in career days, you know, like when they would like sit you down in high school and being like, oh yeah, see what kind of personality and what fits into like that category and stuff, and then that's like gonna be like your dream job. That's what you're gonna be really good at. It's basically like one of those, like basically, yeah. So I guess their first tip is to take this personality test and then hope for the best, I guess.
A 3, you're a 8 or a 9.
9.
I
And then
actually, what's
read
funny
about
is,
how your different
look at this
Enneagram
thing.
numbers pair with each other.
Look at this. Like, like, like I guess these are also like the commitments to. So it's kind of like your ambition in life and like how they interact with. So basically, depending on what you score, it's like where like you interact with like that person. So yeah, it's oh sorry, it's like it's not like translated to English because of uh like where I'm at and stuff. But you can if it's something that you guys are interested in. I never want to like yuck somebody's yum. If this is like your thing, I understand there's are people who like this sort of thing. Like I would never want to like mock you for it. But like if you're like this is can be something where it's like, "Oh, hey, look, if you're let's say personally like um interested in getting to know yourself better and like this is what you like to do, then I say, hey, go for it because it's something that it's kind of like journaling, things like that. So then you can kind of get like a perspective of what, but I wouldn't really rely on it. It wouldn't be like a tool because like anything, any test can be faulty, and you shouldn't like box people. People are much more complex. There is no one exam like to label somebody. And if you're going to kind of treat your relationship like, oh yes, you're this, like for the longest time, like I like imagine having a friendship and stuff, and it's like, well, I just did that because I'm a Pisces, or oh well, you know, you're such a Gemini. Like it's like what? Like yeah, there can be some things that are like, oh yeah, that's typical or whatever, but to like just label that and make it so simplified, it's I not the best. Not the best. Oh, actually, I am. Oh my God. Wait, the test consists of 105 questions and takes, okay, at least it takes like 10 minutes to complete. But boy, I don't know. I guess because probably like the love language test that we took, it was 90 questions, but it was like a lengthy, man, probably what I'll do, I mean, is it something, would you guys be interested in me taking this test? Is this something, probably not. Oh my gosh. So I guess depending on what you score, it's your ambition in life. So like either you have like the urge to evolve toward perfection, the urge to give and help others, the urge to build. Alrighty. I mean,
Other because that was crazy for us.
Yeah, no, do it. Have your spouse, your partner do it,
Yeah.
and
oh
then
God,
sit and
no.
actually have a conversation about what it means. And
No, why would I do that? I'm into this stuff because like I like it. I like kind of personality tests. It's like even like the dumb ones in Cosmos and stuff. I just like it. I'm just like, ooh, like which Sex in the City like character am I? You know, um I was a Charlotte. I was always a Charlotte. And or like what Harry like that's the thing. It's I would equate it to the same as like basing your relationship and because the discussion part is nice, don't get me wrong, like I it's the same like when you watch a movie together and like oh like what did you think of this and blah blah blah. I love that. I love like the discussion parts. I do because it bonds you together. So as an activity, if you both are into it, I say go for it. It's very cute. It's very like it can be a bonding moment. I don't want to rob that. But if you're doing it because it's like, oh yeah, like this is going to really like cement us in understanding each other, I don't really think so. Like I can't. It's like the same as like, oh hey, I identify as a Ravenclaw and he identifies as a Gryffindor, so like great, awesome. Like we don't go beyond that. Like just the only thing that that pertains to is like when we go to like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and he gets like a Gryffindor merch and I get Ravenclaw stuff. Like that's it. Like, and I feel like that's the same as these tests. Like, yeah, you can get some cool discussions out of it if you're both into it. Please don't force your partner to like do these kinds of things that like and I remember like even when I went to my husband like with the personality because I had a counselor and it's like hey like there's some questions that you have that because this is why she had me or suggested that like they can't force you to do anything but she suggested that like we um do that sort of thing because I genuinely just did not know and I didn't know like and he didn't either so like the test kind of worded certain questions that we both had in a way that we could easily answer. And then it's like, oh, hey, look, my partner. Then it kind of led us to being like, oh, hey, my partner likes it when I do this or when I do that. And I genuinely just didn't know that. So it was like a cool exercise to get to know each other that way. Um, but it doesn't necessarily make or break. Like, I feel like if like time in like getting to know each other, it would have kind of pointed that out, I guess. I don't know. Like, but marriage tips and like taking an essay or like I can't imagine the results of a test being this. Like honestly, as a joke, I would have taken it and like had my husband take it and see what happens. But it's like it's excruciating. I don't see. Yeah. But if it's an activity like where you guys would both like it, it's like the same as like if you guys were to play like cards or take like one of those like exams, yeah, like personality tests, and like you like that sort of thing. I say go for it. It's like a good bonding thing. But I don't see it as like a necessity. Like looking at like charts or something, or I don't know. I don't see it as a thing.
in any of these tests, it tells you how a 3 and a 9 interact.
Yeah.
You will understand.
At first, when I heard that, I was like, is he like I thought he meant like on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as attractiveness and I was like is he just calling his wife like a 3 and then he's a 9 because I didn't know what this test was and I was like Dave like why are you roasting your wife like this on the internet saying she's a 3 and you're a 9 like oh my god but that's not what it is.
All of your life so much better.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
Oh yeah, this one test is going to label you and your partner perfectly to the T of how you guys are going to socially interact. Okay, sure. Uh-huh.
Number 2.
Make a date. Schedule one right now. And
Uh-oh. Is this this is ringing a lot of like you need to like worship the spice or basic commit to the spice. So it's like, yes, you must go on a date. Schedule it. Put it commit to the spice. Every third Sunday you must go on a date. Okay. Wait, but let's see, let's see. Maybe they mean like, oh, like don't lose love for each other. You know, even though you're married, like don't lose like the, you know, like that sort of rhythm and stuff.
and while you're at it, go ahead and schedule the next 3 after that.
Yep.
Oh my
We
god.
always get people who ask us like, how do you have a weekly date night? Well, we have it on the same night every week, and we tell a babysitter.
Jesus. Oh my god. Like, see, this is why it like sounds so, ugh, because it's not fun that way. I don't know. It just sounds like you're committed to me. Like we have a Friday night. Like God forbid, like one of them like just genuinely doesn't want to do something. Like, ooh, like God, it just makes me so uncomfortable because I can picture somebody just being like that and how draining it must be. Like, yes, every Friday. It has to be every Friday. Like, um, Jesus. Like, how about go on a date when you genuinely want to spend time with each other and you guys have time for it and it's cool. And sometimes that means just watching a movie together and, like, it's fine. God. Like, that's,
Every Thursday night, you're gonna
great.
be here from
Jeez. Okay, yeah, that's not pressuring at all. Look at Dave's face. Look at that. Like, it seriously sounds like. Oh, sorry if I'm screaming into the mic. Let me know if my volume. Oh yeah, wait. Is the volume still good on the? Okay, yeah, yeah, we're good on the audio. Can you imagine? Like. Even I feel for Dave. Like I feel bad. It sounds like a mom, like being like, no, you have to be here every Thursday night. If not, like something. Oh my God. Like if not, you're not working hard for our marriage. It's like, Jesus, woman, like, don't do that. Like, if anything, just kind of talk to each other. When you miss each other, I say just vocalize it, being like, hey, like, I really miss you. It'd be nice if we do this. I know you're super busy, blah, blah, blah. And kind of fill in the gaps and find a compromise. I know sometimes it's like that, like where each other's schedules and stuff. And I can't speak for when you have kids because we don't have kids, so I can't talk on that experience. So I can imagine it's harder. But like, geez, life gets in the way, my guy. Like, it happens. Like, there's even times where like I specifically think like it's like, hey, I made dinner or I did this and whatever, and I think it's gonna go one way, but hey, like you know what? He got held up at oh look, even my pork. What's super funny is the last time I guess like Rachel and Dave just have this effect on my dog, like where he he like kind of freak out. Maybe he's like my hype person. He's like, yeah, mom, go go react. I'm so proud of you. Um, but yeah, I don't see the yeah like I say just be honest with like the way that you feel. Like if you miss your partner, if you want space, like just vocalize it, communicate that. It's okay to have your space. Hey, and sometimes you don't feel like being romantic. You don't feel and you're entitled to that. The same as your partner. It doesn't mean that they love you any less. It doesn't mean that like your marriage is failing. Just be open to communicate your wants and your needs and kind of try and be catering to each other while you're also taking care of yourself. That's it.
5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
Oh
because
my
it's our date
god.
night.
In the comments,
So that's it? 5:30 to 8:30? So they even got it down to the hour? I would die. I would not. Like I guess I just feel so embarrassed because like I could not imagine going to my husband and being like, "Yeah, like these 3 hours I don't want you on your phone. I don't want you to do this and that and like so controlling. I can't."
section, someone is already writing, I
Yep.
don't have a sitter. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not about the sitter, okay? It's about that it's a little controlling. Like,
Thank you.
There is a way for
Mhm.
you to
Sure.
exchange
Trade.
Sure.
your ability to let someone else have a date night for you to get a date
Hey,
night.
Mom.
oh, so use your your friends and your family to do what you guys want. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Sure. What does that smell like? Like some like yeah, but some people don't have that like I only say that because like we don't have kids. I understand that. But sometimes people move a lot. There's communities that, hey, like you're literally the only one, and some, like, what? Yeah, but sometimes just people genuinely just don't have the means, or sometimes people don't like babysitters. Like, what? Like, it doesn't mean your marriage is gonna fail, Like, it just means like you just have to work something out between the two of you. That doesn't have to be a 3-hour commitment every single week, you know? Like,
At preschool, hey friend down the block, hey neighbor that I trust with my child, if you give
mhm,
us 3 hours, we'll give you 3 hours. We'll take
Yep.
your kids, you take ours. It's like a
mhm.
co-op situation. Nobody has to pay for babysitters. It's magic. Everyone wins.
Everyone wins.
Yeah, yeah, because everyone's in that situation. Totally. Like, no, there's no way that, like, that doesn't exist in some way. And it's not even, the point isn't about not having a babysitter or whatever. Like, it's about the quality of your relationship, and sometimes to cope with the idea that, hey, things aren't like the way that it used to be before we had kids. Again, I can't give advice. I feel bad because I can't give advice about having kids, but like, let's say, because there's different, I can at least speak on the stages of your relationship, that sometimes with time or something like that, or with responsibilities, the dynamic changes and you can't do things, especially now with the pandemic. I understand this video was before the pandemic, but like dynamics and stuff and the ability to do things changes, and that's fine. And so you need to adapt to that. And what does that mean for you and your partner? That's it. It's not about, I don't know.
And by the way, dates. Yep, there's someone else writing right now. My husband's a fireman. Yep, I know, and
Yep.
he
He has
is
weird
awesome,
hours.
and he has
Yeah.
weird hours.
Yep.
Dates don't have to take place at certain
Yeah.
times.
Oh,
You
okay, thank
just
God.
have to commit
Breakfast,
to
lunch,
making a
late night.
consistent date.
Okay, like, yeah, but not like on a schedule. Not like on a schedule. This isn't like the Olympics. Like, this is what I mean. Like, I would rather my partner, because the sentiment is like, oh yeah, you need to commit. You need to get. But I don't want my husband to look at me like he's mowing the lawn, or like, oh, I have to do this because I guess if not, I'm a bad husband. No, like I would rather him literally be like, hey babe, we can only really go out on the weekends or whatever, just for a couple hours, and him genuinely want to be there, then like scheduling like every other day to see me, and then like for 3 hours or whatever, and feel like I'm obligated to his time. I'm not. Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, sure, we've like married each other, we're committed to each other, but it's because of this like mutual understanding that it's like we want to be with each other. And you know what, there's going to be times where he needs his space, I need my space, and it's cool, we still love each other. Like, what is this notion that if we're not physically next to each other, if we're not doing a date thing, then like it's just so crazy. It's almost like saying like, yeah, we need to go on vacation every single month. If not, our marriage is gonna die. Like, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like working out. It shouldn't be it should be because you're taking care of your partner and you're seeing the reality. And this is like why I get upset if you can't, because this isn't based on reality. Realistically, you're putting a standard and a pressure on people that it doesn't need to be. Like, this doesn't, like, your partner, believe it or not, your partner just showing up every Friday for 3 hours doesn't guarantee anything. It doesn't mean that they love. It honestly just means that they showed up, but like, what's the quality of that time being spent together? You know?
I would do it on the same day. I'd frankly do it at the same time,
Yep.
but you
Mhm.
might be a breakfast
Yep.
on Wednesday kind of person,
Yep.
and that's great.
Yep. It's just time together
Just time together.
where your kids are not there, I would
Number
say.
3.
I mean, ugh, like, Jesus. I mean, I don't know. I guess because since I know it's not the same. I know pets are not the same as kids and stuff like that. But like literally, even when we had our bork borks, like our puppies and whatever. Like we take them on dates with us, like because we're I don't know, but I know it's a different dynamic. I know it's a different dynamic, and because it's true, it's like you want to have like that spark again, like that thing, and you should communicate that if you want that, but please don't feel like you need to like it's like mass every Sunday, like yeah, like chalk out that time and but it's not like a business meeting, like marriage doesn't have to be like that, it really should be just like with your friends and just like with family, whatever. Like of course, like they're people who rely on you, who depend on you for like things in the sense of like sentiment and reassurance, but it doesn't have to be like a black and white like pencil. This is like my problem with Dave and Rachel, like with their advice, is that like I this is like advice I would think that like aliens would give to the human race, like this like type of like manual. Like it does, it reads like, like in Beetlejuice, like where they said it reads like radio instructions. Like that's kind of like what it feels like. It doesn't feel very I don't know.
Commit to having great sex.
Oh.
Yep.
It's
Oh, we talked about the species spice. Oh, I wonder what this means though. Elaborate, Dave.
a thing that you choose.
Yep. 100%.
Oh
And
yeah,
if
sure.
you are not someone who has that, it will have an impact on your
Mhm.
relationship.
Mhm.
What?
That's all I think I want to say about that.
Read that chapter in Girl Wash Your Face.
What the hell? Oh, she's plugging her book again. Like, what does that mean? Like, I really think it's because they want to say, like, hey, what, you got a pencil in that time too? Oh my gosh, I swear. Like, these people, they're really comparing, like, their relationship, like a business venture. Like, no, once a month, we all have to gather around and be like, yes, like, in the sense of monogamy. I remember I was talking to Uncanny about this, and it's true. Yes, please communicate when it comes to, like, what you like, what your preferences are. Sometimes it's very easy when you're in a romantic relationship to be hyper focused on pleasing the other person, but know that you have every right to also advocate for yourself, make sure you're safe, make sure that, like you're in a secure place to make those decisions emotionally. Um, but I don't know. I guess because anytime they come to this part of the video, it's extremely vague, and I'm not sure what he means by it. Like, where literally he looks at the camera, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, just what advice are you giving to like people when it comes to spicy bedroom time? Like, is it that it's like, oh, hey, like, don't try not to neglect your partner, try to have an open discussion. He did kind of talk about it, like where it's like, oh hey, it's good for you to like touch bases with your partner as far as if they're happy, if because sometimes people are embarrassed, and it's good to, even if you're married and stuff, like it shouldn't matter what stage you are. It's good, like if you want to talk about it, you should talk about it, and not feel like you're harping on your partner or something like that. Then yeah, I never know what he means by commit to the spice. Like I interpret it like that, like commit to the spice, but it's like commit in what way? Like question mark. I need to make like a little icon that's like question mark.
All the details are there. Number 4.
Number
Well,
four.
apparently I can't know because I haven't bought her book. So I'm tempted. Like I don't want to give her money, but like I'm tempted to just find that one chapter to know what in God's name. You know what? I'm gonna write a note and see if I could find. Like I'm literally gonna write down chapter on the spice because literally, like they don't say anything. She just keeps plugging in her book, and I'm just like, for the love of God, I need answers. Like I need to know, like how to improve my marriage.
Four.
Hire a cleaning lady.
Oh
Ooh.
my God, you're kidding me. No. Oh my God. Are you serious? I'm floored. I am so floored right now. Oh my god. Like I am. Can I just go back to like the red pill guy? I had more fun there. Oh my god, I never thought I would rather somebody tell me that I'm incompetent because of my ovaries than like oh my god. Okay, guys. I'm trying to compose myself. No. You don't have to. Okay, maybe they're going to elaborate. I hope what they mean by this is that hey, you don't have to do the house chores by yourself. You're two people, or if you're in a polyamorous relationship, you know, you're basically more than one person within your relationship. So you can divide the housework of what you're good at or what you prefer, and that you don't have to do it by yourself. It's a balancing act. Your house doesn't have to look like the Home Goods magazine all the time. Especially I can imagine when you have kids, it's a lot to deal with. I know with us, like at least with like the puppies and stuff, it's a lot of fur and vacuuming and stuff. I do have, I guess, in that way where I do take care more of the house chore because I'm a homemaker at this point. Like it's just kind of in the cards for me at this point. Um, until I'm able to find a part-time job, and because that's just what's available here on island. And so yeah, a lot of like the housework and stuff is up to me, but there's also parts of like that I rely on him in the sense of like the yard work or certain things that but it's okay if like yes, of course, if you need the help, please by all means, like don't feel ashamed, like you're not like it shouldn't be shamed like if you do need the extra help because there are people out there who genuinely need even I know like my parents they're older and sometimes they need help every once in a while to kind of get the hard spots or whatever like even if you need 24-hour care that's not something that you should be ashamed of but this is your marriage advice like of course if you're a working woman and that's just a family choice but I hope what they're trying to say it's like hey you don't have to do it alone you can ask for help it is okay to ask for help if it's something like where you feel overwhelmed or don't be ashamed but I swear it's okay I'm just gonna hear the rest of what they're saying maybe I'm just jumping the gun.
I'm not even kidding.
I'm in on this.
Yeah, that was one of the
Mhm.
greatest things we ever did in our marriage was figure out a budget to hire someone. And at the time, I think they came like maybe once a month,
Yeah.
or then it was like every 2 weeks. But someone who came through our house and we like gave up other things in order to have this, who did a deep clean, who cleaned the bathtub and the toilet and like got the grout
Yeah.
because it was the thing that we fought about when we were, well, I wouldn't, we argued. That was something we argued about.
Yeah but that's not good like like okay when you have a home right? And I understand you have responsibilities and it has and there's things that like at least the quality of the cleaning and stuff like that it's important it's to yes guys when you have my advice I swear it's like they think like everybody has this like silver spoon in their mouth and they can just decide to have a cleaning lady and that's what it is. Okay, the reality is, okay, when you live in a space together with somebody, your cleaning capabilities are going to possibly be different because you both have different living arrangements before you met each other. And so there's going to be a part where one of you or maybe possibly ideally you both are the same and so you won't butt heads. But the typical answer for this is to find a compromise of like, hey, I do this, you do this. Let's pick out one Saturday, but like it doesn't have to rely on a third party. Like you can do this like together. This is what I'm like shocked of as far as them like so your answer to fighting about something is to outsource it so somebody else can take care of it. And if this is your solution, I'm not saying like, hey, But the problem is always going to exist. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you need to find something within yourselves, like especially if you don't have the means or the money. Like so basically like and that's the thing. Like you can save for something like that. I'm not saying that it's like, oh, it's impossible to like only the rich have it. It's not. Like there are people who can help within like a means. I know especially when we had to move house and stuff, we had to have like a deep clean of the house that like needed industrial stuff because it had to be like move-in ready, like for the next family to like come. So I understand that sometimes you genuinely need people to help you with that sort of thing. But I can't imagine arguing over somebody and then just throwing money at the problem and being like, oh, okay, yeah, this is great advice for everybody. That's the thing. Not everyone is in that position to have that, and you also have to come into consideration that like you guys are arguing over a thing within your house. Like this is like and you don't think that that's going to like bubble up at some point? Um like, oh yeah, no, we're just gonna have the cleaning lady and what happens if like the cleaning lady, she's not part of your relationship, right? So she's like basically a person who's being outsourced to like fix the problem. Don't get me wrong, like of course it can happen. Like let's say if the washing machine breaks, if like the dishwasher or whatever gets backed up, and it is like that stuff happens, and so you need to hire a person to like come and fix it and whatever. But when you're talking about like the quality of cleanliness and stuff like that, like that's something that you both have to kind of find an agreement of like, hey, like we both live in this like kind of scenario, and so we need to find kind of a balance of like basically what we do, at least in my case, it's like I clean Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday I just like I literally let the dishes pile up. I let, things go because it's kind of like in my mind like my day off. And the same with cooking. Like I don't like the only thing that I cook like on the weekends and stuff is like breakfast and then like the occasional lunch or late dinner, you know? And but Sunday I take completely off and that's what works for us. I know there's some families that they order takeout or they have somebody else prepare this and that's perfectly fine, but I would never in a million years go on a channel and say, "Hey, you know what's great for your marriage, just like mine? To cook and clean Monday through Saturday and take Sunday off. And that 24 hours, because not everyone's in that situation. There's some people who they work all the time. They have very, timely things, and they need that person to like come in every 2 weeks to do that sort of thing. So, like, what? Like, yeah, okay, the sentiment is there. Okay, what she should have said was, hey, like, don't be afraid to ask for help when you feel overwhelmed. And if you start seeing that, like, arguments and stuff, like, start to bubble up, like, try and see if you can seek outside help or do it yourself. Kind of both commit to, hey, we both are butting heads and like we should come to a compromise within ourselves, and if that means hiring outside help, great. If you can't afford it, try and see if you guys can work out or iron out a Saturday or something to kind of, we did that. I remember even in North Carolina, like when I worked full time and he worked full time, that's what we do. We would both clean on a Saturday and get everything like tip top shape. We had even like carpets and stuff, and literally like we would have like breakfast in the morning, clean until probably like 1 or 2. Like, so it was like basically we would get up early, like at 7, clean until like 2 p.m., and then literally like chill for the rest of the day. Um, but yeah, basically her solution is saying, like, yeah, we argued about something, so we just threw money on it. Like, no explanation whatsoever. Okay, sure.
About was who was doing what and dividing up the chores. And honestly, an older married couple said, "You want to know the answer? Hire a cleaning lady
Oh, yeah, so basically my advice sucks. And so, okay, sure.
or man. We're equal rights. Everybody can clean, but it's one of the greatest things we ever did.
And
Our
then
house.
number 5, put yourself back.
Oh my god, I can't believe these people. Like, I swear. Like, well, I guess we just have to throw money at the problem and then it just. Oh my god. Yeah, because everybody has that. Everybody has, like. No, and what's crazy, it's like there's gonna come a point like where you're living with this person. Like you are living with this person. So there's going to be things that are like, especially with cleanliness, like it's gonna happen. Like you guys are kind of responsible for each other's space and stuff. And like bringing, there has to be some at least conversation or compromise and stuff. Like, yeah, an older couple, of course, like if it's something where it's like, hey, like, you know, it's okay to ask for help, it's okay, but like that's not advice. Like it's literally it's like literally saying like, "Hey, you don't want to argue about something, just don't have the problem to begin with." Perfect. Wow, why didn't I think of that? It's like the same. It's like, "Hey, do you want to fix your radiator? How about you go and buy go and buy a brand new one so then you don't have the and it's like yeah, it's like saying like your sink is clogged, so like your solution is just to like replace the whole sink. What? I just that does not rub me the right way.
Back at the beginning of your relationship
Mm-hmm.
when you were still in that, like, I pursue you, you pursue me,
Yep.
I like you like me, and what were the things, activities wise, that were happening in that time during that space that made you fall for that person? The chances that you are still actively doing
Doing
those
those things,
things
yeah.
is low.
There's this great thing when we went to Tony Robbins. He said, when you're first dating someone and you're like so in love, they could literally ask you to do anything. They're like, "Will you take out the trash?" And you're like, "Oh my, of course! Oh my gosh, of course I'll take out the trash."
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but that's not like yes, I agree where it's like, oh yeah, there's like certain things like of where um like you think of your partner and like go back to the reasons of like who they are and why you fell in love with them and stuff. But more than likely your partner has changed and you have changed. And so you need to embrace those things too. Like they're not going to be like that like especially if you guys have been married or together for a long time like I feel like you should also embrace those changes and see who they are now because if not then you're going to react to things and kind of force them into a space of being like yeah like you're not like the way that you used to be and um yeah but it could be that I'm acting a little cynical because like now I just feel a little jaded of like all of their advice but yeah, I think that's nice. I think it's nice to like go back and think of like all of the beginning stages, the butterfly phase, but also embracing I think all of the things that you guys have gone through too because I think of a relationship kind of similar to growing up together or like growing into like the couple that you are now. And yeah, the beginning was nice, but what about all of the time in between? That should be like with all of its ups and downs, like you shouldn't give that up either because like look at the person that you're with now, you know? There should be things there that are also like quality and also why you love them. You know, so I say take both in hand, maybe. But yeah, I think that's a nice exercise too.
then fast forward 12 years, it's like, "Would you take out the trash?" It's like, "I can't believe, why do I have to do everything?"
Well, yeah, because it's 12 years of like, think of the situation and like, and you can't, you really genuinely, like, yeah, because you're also living with the person, like, they're human, they're doing something, and, they're not the same as when you first met them, and that's not bad. It doesn't have to be bad. It's like, um, but like, you're erasing, like, the experience of like that you've gone through together. It's almost like I feel like what you're asking people to do is like the same as treating your children as like little babies. Like where the love you have for your children has to evolve. I guess this is like the way that I think of it like with parents and stuff, like there's always going to be like that love like that you have for your child, but it's going to have to like evolve at some point because they're growing up. And I feel with like partnerships, like that same love has to evolve too. Like where it's like, yeah, you have this like lovey-dovey puppy relationship in the beginning where you're getting to know each other and blah blah blah, but then as you're married, and mind you, I'm very limited in this because like I've only been married for like 3 years, so I'm still in, I guess, like the beginning stages of this. But from what I can understand, it's kind of like you're growing in that love for that person at the same time. So all of the things that I did love about my husband in the beginning and that I was finding out, it was exciting, it was new, but now I love him like for different like not like I still love him, but for like different reasons because we've experienced things together and we have a greater bond. And like the why isn't changing, but it's just all of the additions to. So yeah, I still love him, but now I have probably more reasons because now I know him better. And like yeah, like I feel like you shouldn't erase those experiences. Like, yeah, it's nice to like fond over. Like I do. I look at pictures of when we first started dating, and you get to look back, and then like you're like, oh wow, like I remember how we started out, and we had no idea, and look at us now. Look at all we've accomplished together, and why would I want to remove that? Like, yeah, there's days I'm like I'm like irritated or oh no whatever and no I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh, even the other day we went to the waterfall and like I literally threw my hands up and I'm like I don't want to climb a rock anymore and blah 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 and we argued over something and you know what, by the end of it we held hands and I cried and got upset and blah blah blah, but at the end of it, we told each other that we loved each other and that we were going to work it out and, be there for each other. And we came up with a game plan of like how we were going to go back and do things better. And like, I feel like that's what a relationship should be. It shouldn't be this like, it's fake. This is all fake. Like, the idea that you are married for 12 years and like the only thing that you can fondly remember is like when you first started dating like 12 years ago and there was nothing in between. Like you have to act exactly how you were on day 1 when you first no, like like I feel like in a relationship you should have more reasons. Like yeah, like I don't want to take out the trash, but dang it, like I'll throw my fit and whatever, and at the end of it, we'll come to some sort of compromise, like at the end of the day, it's the person that I want to fall asleep next to and, make coffee for, and we talk about league, and, I get angry when like the trash is left and whatever, but it's just a small thing, compared to like the bigger sums of our parts, like yeah, be irritated, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like by the end of it, it should be like more than that, and it's kind of yeah, it's kind of wrong to be like, oh yeah, just remember like the first time that you guys were dating and stuff. But yeah, of course, always treat your partner with respect and love, and like don't treat them horribly. But if like you're in your 30s and stuff, and you started dating when you were like 18 or 19, they're not that person anymore, and it's okay. Like
If you treat your partner like you did at the beginning of the relationship, there will never be an end of the relationship.
Hey, hey. That's a
Um, is this a bad time to tell you guys that they got divorced? Like, I hate to keep like, but it kind of did. So, um, what I say is to this advice, yeah, like you can fondly remember, but there should be more reasons of because you're gonna inevitably change. Like this is something that it happens. Like you grow up, you grow older. There's things you both experience. Like that's a thing. Even in my relationship, we were long distance, so we didn't know what it was like to live with each other, to like have a schedule together, to like, you know, basically now we have two puppies, so it's kind of like we're depending on each other for that. And it's like literally like I messaged my husband. I was like, "Hey, the puppy has like something on his paws," and he was like, "Oh, I'll go like get some lotion for him, whatever." Like it's things like that that it's it's sweet to be in life together. Like you shouldn't have to like peel back 18 years ago because there should be something that happened last week, a month ago that you can fondly think of like, oh yeah, that's I like that moment. That was nice. You shouldn't have to look back like 18 years, you know? Like you should think of something that they did like last week or a couple weeks ago, you know, at most. Being like, "Oh yeah, I do. I like this person. They're cool. They're cool with me. They're one of my peeps. They're in my clan, you know." Oh, I hope I'm not like being too irritable. I apologize if I am. Like I think cuz I did the react before and now it's all like bubbling again. But I always love like even hearing you guys' comments even after. Like I think one of you guys even said like my rants and stuff sound like an adorable bumblebee in a glass jar. And honestly, I have that that, that picture in my mind anytime I'm like kind of just ranty.
It's a good line.
I stole it from Tony Robbins.
Oh, thank you, Tony.
If you like videos here on my YouTube page, man, you better subscribe, sister or brother, but mostly women watch us.
There's like 4 guys watching now that I'm
all
here.
right, subscribe. Hit the.
Okay. No, I'm not. But let me see the time and then I'll see. Okay, so we got 10 minutes. So I'm going to see that you guys also, I don't know, I'm kind of curious about the check in on your partner. Let me see. Okay, let me see. A relationship audit. We know it sounds like a scary thing, but in reality, it could be a thing that saves your relationship. This one is for my hustlers out there who are working with their partners. These are the things you need to know as you scale your business. I kind of, since we have 10 minutes, yeah, we did that one. I will okay, I'll make a decision and I'll go with, okay, let's see a little bit with check in on your partner. And then if that's like, because I feel like that's good advice. And then I'll do the how to work with, and we'll do that for a little bit until we hit the 1 hour. I like this music.
We are talking about an episode that we did about 18 months ago, which was the State of the Union on your relationship. And here's the gist. Or do we have a clip we could play? Hey guys, I want to make sure that I am creating content that is exactly what
I love her nail. I think I want to do my nails today.
Will you tell me which part of this video is your absolute favorite? Comment below and tell me, did something make you laugh? Did something make you cry? Did something super motivate you or light a fire under your butt or any old thing at all? Let me know down below and make sure you tell me what minute it happened at so that I can create around that exact thing. Thanks, guys. Play us that clip. Really the idea of a question that we feel like everybody in a romantic relationship needs to ask themselves.
Wow, this is pretty extreme. The relationship is either growing or it's dying. Wow, that's, I mean, is it weird to say that? Like, I've just, or stagnating? I don't know. Like, that's kind of extreme. Like, Jesus.
And needs to ask themselves pretty regularly, which is, are we growing? Are we growing together? Are we growing more in love? Are we better off now than we were a year ago? Or are we dying?
I mean, Jesus. Like, I feel, oh, God, that is so weird. It's just like, usually the way I like to phrase things is like, would I say this to like a friend? Like, would I ask my friend, hey, is your relationship growing or is it dying? And like, that's not realistic. Like, cause that's the thing. Like, I feel like relationships in and of itself, they're ever changing. You know, like where it's like fluctuating or it's. But I would never say like the only way I can quote unquote call it dying or it's probably if somebody is like literally like considering divorce or like hey this is the end of our relationship and um but even then like I can't speak for the relationship as a whole. Like I could never be like yeah this is like I would call it in the sense of like to me because I'm only in control of like my half of the relationship and then what I can contribute, but I know he has his own half that he's responsible for. So is that just giving too much of a complicated answer to this question? Like I can't say whether or not it's growing or it's dying. I'm just talking about like, hey, I can tell you I'm happy and like like I like being in it, and like I want to keep it going, like at least on my half, and then you can ask him his. But damn, that's kind of ooh.
Because any living thing is one of those two things.
You can't be in the middle.
You can't. You're either growing or you're dying.
Not true. There's zombies. Okay, zombies. There's the living dead. Have they not talked about necromancy? I'm gonna throw a necromancy card on the table, guys.
An animal, grass, humans are either growing or they're dying.
Zombies.
So, what does your relationship look like right now?
Oh, jeez.
And
Wait, do I have to like compare it to something? What does my relationship look like? I'm gonna give a silly answer. I don't know why. The first thing that popped into my head was, oh man, it's probably because I've been watching like a lot of like Spirited Away, but you know, like the dragon, like from Spirited Away, where it's like all scales and pretty, and like I guess because too we went to like a river and stuff, so like sometimes I have a very big imagination. Oh hi Jingle Bells, it's my puppy. Um, so if I, can it be like a magical dragon? Like it's probably not that fanciful, like but in my mind, like I want it to be. I want it to be all cool and but like where it's not as cool looking, it's just like a small dragon. It's like it looks like from like a panoramic view, it's like all magical and beautiful and whatever, but it's like meow. It's just like teeny tiny and just your average thing. Like yeah, that's I want it to be that. Like just
the way that I think you can answer this question, are we
oh,
growing?
oops.
Are we dying? Are we stagnant? Do we feel stuck? Do we feel like we can't get past this place? Or do we feel like we sort of are repeating ourselves? Is, are you more in love with your partner than you were a year ago?
Oh God, now I have to give like a serious answer. Like I feel, oh, like I feel in my relationship, like that's the thing. I'm just answering this so then you guys can answer in your own pace or whatever, like for your own situation. Um, I feel like I have more reasons to love my partner because of everything that we've gone through. I don't know if I just answered this in my other discussion. Yeah, so it's like the love isn't the same because we know each other more and we've gone through more things together. So, and it's true, like when you've talked more, you know, fought more, it's like you have more things to fight for, I think. Like you have more at stake. So you feel more committed, more you find more security, that sort of thing. Like the itty bitty tiny dragon.
Woo!
Listen to that clip.
Don't I feel like I
Oh,
just
they're
listened to
together.
myself
Okay.
in 7th grade.
I love
like my
her.
voice is like, oh, this is before you went through puberty.
You've become a
her.
woman.
Sure.
I've become a woman.
Finally.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. Also, we recorded that
Oh
on
my
the floor
gosh.
of
Okay,
our...
Dave. Like, just hype up your woman. Jesus. Why do you have to be so condensation? Condescending. Come on. Hype your woman up for her teeny tiny voice. Like, I just do that because I have a teeny tiny voice, so I would want. I'm projecting.
I know.
closet.
It's so funny. I like flash back to being on the floor of the closet.
Such a weird thing.
It's such a weird thing. It feels like if you go back 18 months in our relationship, I think so an interesting thing is that we cannot talk about our relationship today without talking about the business. Because
Oh, that's weird. Is that weird? Like, I can't imagine, like, having my whole relationship tied into money and. Okay, I mean, if that's what their thing is.
business is like this third part of our relationship. There's me, there's Dave, there's the Hollis company. And it is such a massive part of our life. And because so much of our life now is wrapped.
Like, why is it that it sounds like a. I hate to say it, but it almost sounds like this mistress, like this third party polyamorous like person that has its own entity. It's like three heads, like really. Maybe they're a spirit animal in that way. It's like the ogre with the three heads, or the oh my gosh, it's a hydra. Their relationship is a hydra. I just want it to be something magical. I want this to be a mystical answer, like to these relationship questions. I don't know. I think because like relationships in it of itself, I think are magical. So I guess they identify as a hydra.
Wrapped up in taking care of the business, growing the business, scaling the business, leading this team, it's become this
Hydra.
like what is it called? What is it called when a couple there's like three people in a couple?
Oh yeah, I was right. It's like a polyamorous thing. I was right. Yay, I feel better. Okay, guys, so I'm hitting an hour. That's kind of what I wanted. I'll pick up on this because I feel, hey, talking about like magical, fanciful things at the end is kind of what I've wanted like for a while. So, I'm sorry for the nitpickiness. I'm sorry for like the bumblebee anger in a jar answers that I gave. But hopefully it was good. I hope it was entertaining. I hope at least it was soothing. Because I know some of you guys listen to me to fall asleep. I hope it wasn't too badgery. If anything, definitely let me know on any comments or anything like that. You can hit me up on Instagram at haunted.goose. You can give my video a subscribe, or sorry, my channel a subscribe here on Twitch if you want to get notifications. I'll be uploading this. My YouTube channel. So then if you guys want playback, I mostly do that because some of you guys want playbacks and stuff from longer than like 2 weeks. So like Twitch has this thing where it's like it erases every 2 weeks. So if you want the whole vault and stuff, it's like there on my YouTube channel. It's the Haunting Hour, or you can just type in Haunted Goose. And thank you guys so much for submitting these videos. Honestly, it's so funny, and I will pick up on this video for next week, so then we can keep talking about all this fun stuff. So thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.